Diane. Welcome to my sewing channel, Diane in Stitches, where you'll find all sorts of conversation about all things sewing related. So I do hope you enjoy visiting, and I hope you'll leave a like and a comment and subscribe. And also, if you're on a mobile, please don't forget to swipe and hype. Give me a hype. So this week I did manage to get something done. Despite the trauma of last week, as you will probably, if you were here last week, you'll know what's gone on. Sadly lost my sister a week or so ago. So I've managed to get some sewing done, and it's this sweater, which is the Neve sweater by Sew.lala, which is a pattern company that I'd not heard of before. I bought this pattern quite a few months, last year sometime, and I had it printed, I think September-ish time. There's 3 views. I'll pop some pictures, stock pictures up of what it consists of. It's a three different garments in one pattern. There's a quarter zip front with a collar, this one, and a boxy t-shirt. So obviously this is the t-shirt, the sweatshirt, which I've done in this lovely quite thick sweatshirting from Lock fabrics, the same fabric that I made last week's toaster sweater, in the red toaster sweater. It's exactly the same fabric, but I didn't have as much trouble with this because this is actual ribbing, whereas the toaster sweater I was trying to attach 3 layers of the fabric at the cuffs, and it's quite a long cuff on the toast, and it was just a bit of a struggle, shall we say. I managed it in the end, but this was a lot easier because I was only attaching it to ribbing, and there was just the one seam. But it's a lovely fabric. It's 320 grams per square metre. As I say, it's from Lock fabrics. A lovely fleece back, lovely and warm. So this is, as I said, the Neve sweater by Sew.lala, and the sizing, looking at it, it's very similar to the Jarrah sweater, but I haven't made this version. Well, I've sort of made this version of the Jarrah sweater, the very first one I made, and it was a horrible very flimsy rib knit fabric, and it didn't go well at all. I think I will revisit the Jarrah, maybe make another one. But I just think this doesn't look as baggy as the Jarrah, and that goes with the sizing as well. I'll just check on the sizing. It runs the European sizing. I think it's a French pattern or something. I don't know exactly where they are, but it's European with an equivalent, I think, the US sizing. So I sort of fell in between what they're saying is a 36 and a 38, which in the US sizing is a 6 or an 8. And I was sort of in between there, so I did an 8. The sizing runs from a 2 to a 30 in US sizing, which is a bust of 31 to 59 inches. So I did the size 8, which gives the finish measurement. So I sort of did my proper size. I didn't have to go size down on it. I think I probably could have sized down, but anyway. So the finished measurement of the 8 is 40.2 inches from the bust saying 37. Well, I'm only 36, but the 6 was 35. So as I say, I'm in between the 2 sizes. So I've come out with a 40.2 inch finished bust measurement. Now the Jarrah, even though I've sized down to a 6, it's 43 inches finished measurement. If I'd done my size 8 in the Jarrah, I think that's 44. So there's quite a difference between the finished measurements of this and the Jarrah. I think I could possibly size down to a 4 with the Jarrah, but I'll see that. That's for another time. As I say, I'm done with cozy now. I want to now move on to other things now. I've finished with the fleeces and the cozy wear. So So yeah, so that's the Neve sweater by Sew.lala, and I like it. I do like it. It's not too oversized. Obviously, there's the drop, quite a drop shoulder, which I don't. I know some people don't like drop shoulders, but I don't mind them. I quite like them. Ribbing goes lovely. There was the matching ribbing from Lamazi fabric, so yeah. So I might get some more of this next year for more winter wear. So what's coming up next? Right, well, also from Lamazi, I had thought about cutting out a skirt, and from when I ordered these, I got this remnant of Ponte Roma. I think it was 80 centimetres. And green isn't a colour that I normally go for. I don't normally wear a lot of green, but I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. It's a remnant. It was only £10. I'll make a pencil skirt, see how it goes, see how I like the colour. It is sort of like a khaki. It is called army green, and it's sort of like got this twill weave on it. It's quite a nice fabric. And what I'm making with that, I got the pattern. I printed this off at home because it's just literally one piece. Wasn't worth paying for A0. And it's the Friday Feels skirt. I don't know if it says it on the Friday Feels pencil skirt by Pattern Emporium. It's literally just one piece, front and back. You cut the back on the fold at this line, and then that has to be turned in, and you cut the front on the fold on that line. And you just attach the elastic in and fold it down. There's no separate casing. So it's quite simple. So I'm probably going to get that done just to test it, really, just to see how it all, if it suits me or not, I don't know. But my goals this year are to try and make a more cohesive wardrobe and outfits that go together rather than just random different colour things that don't go with anything else. And I have got a few random things in my wardrobe, it has to be said. But I thought, what's going to go with this skirt? Now, last year, for my birthday, excuse me, my sister-in-law bought me a voucher from Beyond the Pink Door. And I ordered some fabrics, one of which was the jarrah that I made up with the tie that I've now altered and put the bands on the bottom. But the other fabric was this. It was a remnant, 1.7 metres. It's a viscose twill. And I didn't really know what to make with that. I'd thought of a shirt, a blouse of some sort. But I thought, well, that sort of, there is a sort of a khaki green in there, which I thought, well, that might, it's difficult to see. It does look better in real life. But they might fit together. So I'm going to think of a blouse that I can make on that one. I had made a note on here. It's 150 wide, 1.7 metres, and I'd put Tropicana. And that's a blouse pattern by Wardrobe by Me. It's just a fairly straight, it's not shaped or anything, it's quite a nice pattern. So that might be that. Whether that'll go with the skirt or not, I don't know. Whether I'll tuck it in, I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence about tucking in or leaving out. But that's a possibility with that. And the other thing on my plans, at long last now, looking forward to doing other things rather than sweatshirts, is the Tilley magic pants. And I bought this fabric last year from Sherwood's Fabrics when they had an open day down at their warehouse in Ilkeston in Derbyshire. And it's all washed because I have overlocked it, and it's just it's like an undyed twill cotton twill. You probably see just like a twill weave, and there's like little flecks in it. Like it's just natural. There's no dye, no nothing. It's just as it. I suppose it's it's ripe for dyeing if you wanted to dye it a different colour. But I'm going to leave it as the cream and just see how these trousers work out. I've got all the bits and bobs I need for it now, because it's, pop a picture up, it's the one with the flap at the front. There's a bit of ribbing along the tummy, and then you bring a flap up and put some straps through, and it all puts in. That's where the magic happens, apparently. So I want to give those a go. So I'll probably try and do a bit of a instruction on what I'm doing, step by step, just to, it might be dead easy, I don't know, we'll see. So that's going to be the magic pants. I didn't know whether it was a little bit too stiff, but it does say for linen, or it does say that you could use a denim. So, and it is a bit sort of a lightweight denim-y fabric. I'm going to give it a go anyway and see how it works. And so with that, thinking, right, I need something that's going to go with this. I mean, I've got tops that probably would go with it, but I thought I'll just keep on this theme of trying to match, make things that go together. So also from Sherwood's Fabrics, this was an order I placed online last year when they had a sale on, was this animal print viscose, which is beautifully soft. And I thought, right, well, that will make a nice top to go with those trousers. So that's another possibility. Again, I don't know what blouse. I've got blouse patterns that, or just a floaty top type thing. So that's my plans now going forward. Out of the cosy. I want spring to be here and just get going. So that's what's on the table. So I think the skirt, I'll get that done, out of the way. Think about the blouse at some point if the skirt looks okay and suits me and everything. So we shall see about that. So in other news, if you don't want to watch any further, I'm going to, again, a trigger warning regarding my sister passing away. If you don't want to hear more about that, then obviously finish now. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. So moving on to the saga now of my sister. I had to chase the surgery. I was waiting and waiting for the call from the registrar to try and go and register the death and get the death certificate for sending off to all the various institutions. And I hadn't heard anything for the rest of the week. I thought it was, the time scale sort of says 72 hours. Well, Friday was 48 hours. So I thought, well, it'll probably be Monday. Monday came and I hadn't heard anything. So Tuesday mid-morning, I still hadn't heard anything. So I rang the register office and they hadn't heard anything. So she gave me the number of the medical examiner. Because all deaths now have to go, the doctor can't just send a death certificate and that's that. It has to now go through a medical examiner for double checking. I think this stemmed from, I seem to have read that this stemmed from, in England a few years ago, we had this case of a doctor, Harold Shipman. You might have heard it all in the news. And he was killing patients basically with lethal injections. And I think the last patient, he tried to forge their will. And he'd killed hundreds of people. So I think they brought the checks in then. So it has to go through the medical examiner. Anyway, the registrar gave me the medical examiner's number. He'd not heard anything. So he said, ring the surgery up. He said, and I'll email them as well and chivvy them along. So I rang and I was holding on for quite some time to get one of these. You are number 3 in the queue, blah, blah, blah. Finally got through to a receptionist who made pains to say, I can't give you much information, obviously, as I'm not the patient. So she went away and checked, and when she came back, she said, yes, we have got it, and it's all in hand. And that's all she would say to me, it's in hand. So I said, okay, fine, well, I'll just wait then. She said, yes, I'm sorry, I can't tell you anymore. Okay. So I waited. Half an hour later, the phone rang, and it was the doctor at the surgery. And he came up with some blah, blah excuse about what he was busy, and people off sick and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he said, I'll send it now to the medical examiner. So that went as far as I know. And then the following day, so it was a Wednesday, which was a week after my sister died, I got a call from the medical examiner, and he said, you'll now receive a text message from the register office. If you're happy to fill the form in online, fine. And I tried that and it didn't work, so I ended up ringing them anyway. Made an appointment, and it's for Monday. I could have had an appointment yesterday, but we were having our hair. We have a lady come to the house to cut our hair, me and Keith, and she was coming at 12, and the only appointment they'd got was 2. We probably would have been okay, because in the end she was early anyway. So, but I'd already said, oh, we'll not risk, dashing. We'll go on Monday. So I'm going Monday now to the register office. And then I can get things moving. I've got to sort of obviously inform banks and savings place. Anyway, we'll see. And then I've got to go to this solicitor's in Rotherham that she did all the legal things through to pick up the original will. But I need the death certificate to do that. So it's like, I just want to start getting things. I want to be useful and get things started, and I'm sort of looking at what I need to do next. And anyway, because I like to be informed and know what I'm doing before I leap into something. But anyway, so it might not be too dreadful, because it's a simple estate, so we're not. Property went ages ago. I sold the house a few years ago when it was evident she wasn't going back into the house. So anyway, that's where we are. So I'll stop rambling now on that one. So yes, that's where we are. My overlocker at the service place in Sheffield is ready. So we'll probably be going to pick that up this afternoon, because I've got a parcel coming this morning, which is I'll mention next week. It is sewing related. So I'll probably discuss that next week. It was going to be, I've got a time scale for delivery, which was like an hour ago or after lunch. So we don't know what time it's going to be coming, but they would leave it somewhere anyway. But I thought we'd just stay in and go this afternoon over to Sheffield and pick up my brother overlocker and just see, hopefully, what was wrong with it. Hopefully they've managed to fix it, and I'll leave it as a backup if it's working okay. So I think I'll leave it there. Just have another short one this week, and hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, please do leave a like. Always leave a comment. I'd like to thank you all again for all the comments from last week, of the sympathy and the hugs and the love and everything that you left on the comments last week. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. So again, leave a comment, hype if you're on the mobile, and I hope to see you all next time. So bye for now.